And we are live.
Yay!
Hello, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. It's another episode of how stress impacts our lives, which is part of the stress management campaign, stress awareness campaign for the Stress Awareness Month. I'm so excited for this one again. And with us is one amazing lady I met on Instagram. Her name is Ruth Oni. Oh my God. If you're talking about people that support me on Instagram, she's among among the first on the list. Thank you
Oh,
so much. I really appreciate you so much. I appreciate you, Ruth. So
welcome.
tell everyone, who is Ruth Oni?
Yeah, so what's not to support with what you're doing? You're doing a lot of amazing things, from the stress to helping professionals thrive and all of that. It's just so amazing because a lot of times on the street of Instagram, what we see is people selling stuff, people, selling their wares and doing their business more or less. But this aspect of focusing on not really people's souls per se, but this intangible aspect of people that eventually affects the tangible is not really common. And that's why anytime I see anybody doing that, I'm just like rooting for you. Like, you don't know what you're doing, because yes, you might not be able to measure your impact. Like, I've sold 20 bags, or you might not necessarily be able to measure your impact. You might be putting so much body of work out there without getting commensurate support, because it's not appealing to people, like in terms of in instant impact per se. It's something that maybe they listen to you, they have to go and think about it and all that, but it is really impacting a lot of people. And I know how that, I know how that that back end is, when it comes to reception. So I'm just like, I know it's not easy to do this, because it comes from a deep place for you to be able to do that. And so I'm just like, anybody I see doing that and doing it excellently, doing it consistently, I'm just like, I see you. I support you, and any way in which I can, I just try to. So yeah, this is, even what I'm doing is nothing close to how much impact and how much work you are doing. And I really appreciate you for that. Well done, great job. Just keep up the good work, and I know that God will keep strengthening you. He will keep empowering you, inspiring you, and just help you to make as much impact as you really desire to make, in Jesus' name.
Amen. That's
So,
going to
okay,
be thank
before I turn it into church, my name is Ruth Oni, and because I'm a nurse, and so my day job is nursing. I work as a nurse, but I'm also a wellness coach. So, in this season, I'm focusing mainly on helping moms just generally um get sus get sus get what's the word now, I help mom get sustainable with their healthy habits. So a lot of times, a lot of people start something, going to the gym, 2 days, you're out of the gym. You're like, oh, na fat, I no keep person. Or you start eating healthy, and before you know, life issues, distractions here and there, you forget about it. But I'm just basically focusing on helping moms um build how they can be sustainable with their healthy habits. That's basically what I do. So yeah, I'm a wellness coach for moms, and I'm also a nurse. And of course, I'm a mom of two, married to my handsome husband. What again? Yeah, I think that's basically me.
Wow, you have so much
Yeah.
going on and you're
Hey.
juggling them well. Well done,
Yeah,
well
thank
done.
God.
So back to what we are talking about today, how stress impacts our lives.
Yeah.
How stress impacts our lives. Can you tell us more about that? As
Okay.
an expert,
So
as a wellness mom, or personal stories?
yeah. So I'll start from a personal story, which I've shared a couple of times on my Instagram page, as to
Okay.
um how stress affected me. So I relocated to the UK recently, a few years back, and if you have been in Nigeria versus UK, you would know the difference, especially when you have kids. In Nigeria, it's easy to get help. Not really easy, but at least it's affordable. You can easily pay for a living help. You can get even a leave out help, but you can have help that will support you with the kids while you're doing your job and you're doing your other roles. But coming to the UK, it was like a complete switch. And then my husband is one kind of person that his own kind of job is offshore, off location. So it's just me with my two school age children. And he was he was not funny. And I was trying to, manage everything. And it got to a point, and this is, I started to have palpitations from nowhere. I'll just be feeling I can just literally hear my heart beating, and I'll get really anxious about things. I was When you sleep and you wake up and you don't feel like you've slept at all. Like you just as if, what, did I sleep at all? You're tired, you're in pains, you're having aches all over. I just felt like one day, God forbid, my enemy might just slump and die if I continue like this, because there was so much going on. There was that overwhelm. I was really stressed. And I just knew that I have to do something about it, because it would definitely lead to several other things. And that's where I said to now, read up more about stress, and just begin to find out how I can actually deal with this thing and manage my life better, because this is my life for now. I can't run away from it, but I just have to find a way to make it work without losing myself or losing my life in the process. And so I think that's just my own story with stress. After that, I began to do a lot of research, even including biblical research, like how do you deal with this in terms of the anxiety I was feeling, which was definitely an offshoot of the stress that I was going through, the overwhelm, and everything that was going on in my life at that time. And a few things that I feel like, a few actions I believe I took at that time that really helped me was, number one, I began to prioritize my health, because I feel like, in terms of being healthy, it is like the core, it's like the foundation. I like to tell the story about, the story of, the wise and the foolish man, where the wise man built his house upon the sand, upon the rock. The foolish man built his house upon the sand. And when the storm came, the wind blew, da 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 da. The one on the sand fell, and the one on the rock stood. And so I just see being healthy as the foundation, because stress is as constant as the word. We will definitely face stress. Life and stressors are like five and six. They will come at you, but you need to build your core such that when those stressors come, what we call basbos in Nigerian language, when they come, when the thing is hitting you here and there, your core is a bit strong enough, you're resilient enough to be able to handle those things. That's one of the things, because there's a lot more. That's one of the things I decided to work on, being holistically healthy, physically, mentally, socially, because socially, in terms of your social health too, having relationships that help you, that
Mm,
support you, even if they're not physically there, but they're there too. You have people you can speak to when you're having issues. You just have that healthy relationship with people around you. You have a support system. All these things will help you better manage your stress. So I think one thing that really helped me, one of the few things that helped me, was that foundation of strengthening my core, because my children will remain school age children for the next few years. What am I
mhm,
going to do? They come with their own baggage. So you just have to strengthen your core, be solidified inside. And it is an ongoing process. It's not like you get to that point to say, oh, my core is now fully strengthened. It's something you keep doing. It's a lifetime thing. But if you're not conscious and intentional about it, the stressors will come and they will crush you, just like the foolish man's building that fell. That's one thing. Another thing is knowing yourself and what is important for you. Now, there are a lot of things, especially for moms. Now, let me just speak to moms for a minute, because I am a mom as well. And, I'm speaking from experience now, like you said. A lot of times, a lot of things that we are doing is just based on the societal expectations. There's this reel on Instagram that anytime I just see it, I'm just like, what are we saying? No mom has these five things: a clean house, a shaved legs, da 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 da. And I'm like, why are we even personalizing that to moms? No human being has no dirty laundry. Even if you've washed all your clothes on ground, you're not busy, that you have no dirty clothes at all. Good. What of the one you're wearing is still dirty now? So no human. So let's not just say only moms. And so there's that school of thought where we just feel like moms must just be stressed. You cannot help it. You must, if you're not a mom, if you're not stressed, maybe you're not a good enough mom. And so we carry those tags on our head and feel like, mom brain, mom tiredness, mom burnout, mom. You just feel like that should be the normal. That should be your normal life. But I don't think so, because I know that there are moms out there who are living their best life. It doesn't mean everything is perfect, but they've been able to find that, that balance with everything. They've been able to make things work for them, that they are living their best life. They're not, because you remain a mom for life. Guess what? As you are a mom now, you become a grandmom, in a few years and all that. So you will remain a mom. So does that mean your life will not be stressful forever? You will not even enjoy it. Do you understand? So we just need to take away those tags, because a lot of times we are living under those societal tags, number one, and also societal expectations, where you feel like, for a good as a good mother, your house, your children must look in a certain way, your house must look a certain way, your this must, you as a person, you need to begin to prioritize what is important to you per time. As I am here, because well, some of the things that stressed me then, that made me feel the pressure then, was trying to make sure my sink must be clean, no dirty plates. My house must be spick and span. My children must be this. So I'm trying to do everything, and I'm like, just check it out, Ruth. For you as a person, Ruth, what is really important to you? I'm trying to raise godly children. That's what's important to me. I'm trying to raise healthy children. That's what's important to me. So if the house is dirty for now, guess what? Tomorrow is another day. We'll clean it up. Next tomorrow is another day. We'll clean it up. What is really important out of all the things I have to do now? Just pick what is important for you as a person. Leave society alone. Because guess what? If you clean the house, they will say you're cleaning the house. If you don't clean the house, they will say, sorry, just give me a moment. See, mom issues. Just give me 1 minute. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, yeah. So I was
Apologize.
saying that, um, yeah, I was saying that we need to just forget about the societal tags and the expectations, and just figure out, for me as a person, what is important to me. What do I really want to do with my life at this time? And just focus on that. Because 100% of the time, or maybe let me not say 100%, a lot of times, what stresses us is really what people expect us to do. We are scared. What will people say? What will people not say? What will people do? Just focus on you, prioritize you. Guess what? My house is not clean. I come and visit me. I'm sorry, deal with it, right? I'm sorry, just manage, take me like that. I will not, kill myself because I'm trying to make my house clean and also have devotion with my children. And no, the devotion with my children is more important than a clean house. So I'll prioritize that. And so I think as moms, you just have to, yeah. So as long as you just have to prioritize what is important for you and focus on that. So I think I'll stop there. So two major things I said worked for me was building my core, which I think is my health, physically, mentally, socially. And in terms of social, it's also that social is vertical and horizontal, right? My relationship with God, my relationship with people, all that. I just felt that focusing on me and strengthening that core will help me withstand the storm. And the second thing was just figuring out what's important for me in the season of my life. Don't care what anybody really has to say about it, except people that are, of course, really important and have my interest at heart. Because a lot of people that talk, they don't really have your interest at heart. They're just concerned about saying and talking and moving their lips essentially. So just prioritize what is important to you per time and focus on that, because you cannot do everything at a time. When we think of balance, right, we're thinking giving equal attention to everything in our lives. Balance is not equal, it's not equality. And that's why I like this equity thing that, that was the theme for the International Women's Day, right? Which is talking about giving giving commensurate opportunities to people. So somebody who is disabled, for example, they will not get the same kind of opportunity that somebody who is not will get, because they're not at the same level. And it's the same thing with you as a woman too, in terms of prioritizing what's important to you. Your career, your family, everybody cannot get equal attention per time. But based on what is important to you at that season. This is important. This has to get more attention than this for now. That's what balance really is. It's not necessarily equality that, okay, 20%, 20, no, that's not what balance is for me, right? So I think I'll stop there before I just take all the time talking.
It's actually interesting listening to you. You can go on and
Yeah.
on.
Thank
Wow.
you.
I picked up certain things when you were talking. The first, in fact, let me start from up down. When you talked about the palpitations that one gets that when you're really stressed, I remember back then when I've not really known about stress management. I remember waking up sometimes with these palpitations, like what's going on? It's like I've not slept. It's like I was awake through the night, even though I've put in
Mhm.
the hours, maybe six
Yeah.
hours, 7 hours, but I'm still
Mhm.
waking up tired,
Yeah.
anxious, afraid that something is going to happen,
Going
or
to
afraid
happen.
of something that happened. And then I'm getting these palpitations. I remember it happening to me, but how it went away is something I don't know. But I know that I've become so intentional about my life, intentional
Yeah.
about the emotions I'm feeling, and being able to address my stress as quickly as they happen, being able to express myself calmly, to get solutions, so that I can go to bed more relaxed and wake up feeling refreshed without all the palpitations that comes with not sleeping well and all the anxiety, because these things are anxiety symptoms that we've described. I don't know, are you still there, Ruth? Okay, let me just carry on with the things she has said so far until she gets back. And then she
Yeah, I'm
mentioned,
here.
oh,
I'm here. Yeah, I
welcome
can
back.
hear you. Yeah.
Welcome back. So I talked about the palpitations, the
Yeah.
anxiety every morning. It's real. People are going through these things. You realize that people are not sleeping well, and these things can contribute to full-blown anxiety attacks,
Mm,
panic
very
attacks.
possible.
Before people are taking medications, anxiety medications. You know, being clients to psychiatrists,
Mhm.
psychologists to
Yeah.
get help. And just like we mentioned something about this in the previous session that I had with Abis, that we said that at the root cause of these things, like this anxiety, are poorly managed stress that could have
True.
been tackled earlier on,
True.
as quickly as they
True.
happened.
Mm.
And then again, you mentioned two things: building your core and focusing on what's important. That's gold. It's really gold. See, I tell people, you don't go to battle already feeling defeated.
Mm.
Because if you go into battle already feeling defeated, what's going to happen? You will not win. It's
Yeah.
difficult because
Yeah.
you're fighting from a lost angle. But if
True.
you're going into battle fully equipped with all the armor to fight,
Yeah.
you are stronger to overcome whatever it is life throws at you. Because,
True.
like you
True.
mentioned, whether we like it or not, stress will occur. We'll be faced with stress, like a daily thing. Like even
Mm.
let's go scriptural. The Bible even talks about there is there is worry for each day. So
Mhm.
there's something that you need to sort out every day.
True.
So that's why that building of your core value, your health, your mental health, your whole being should be really, really solid.
Mm.
you know
Mhm.
before
True.
going in. And then the third thing you talked about was focusing on what's more important. Oh, this is really essential, because when we are explaining work-life balance, this is what work-life balance is about. And
Yes.
like you said, it's not about 50-50 everywhere. No, no, no.
Mm.
It's actually about prioritizing what's
Yeah.
important. Part
Part time.
time, again, part
True.
time, because it changes.
Yeah.
It changes. What's important now may not be
Mm.
what's important in few months' time. So
True.
it's very important for us to realize what is important part time, so that we'll adjust our lives. And then as a mom, oh, and as
Wonderful
a mom,
story.
all those
Mm.
tax, all those societal tax, oh my God, is a lot. Is a lot to deal with. Thank you for highlighting them. Thank you for putting perspective to them.
Yeah.
So just one question I will ask is for moms now, because a lot of things you said were related to moms, and I know that there will
Mm.
be moms listening to me right now. So
True.
for moms, if the source of your stress is just managing the home, maybe the children, and you're just not sure of how to regulate your emotions, which can be one problem. If you
Mm.
don't regulate your emotions, let me say you as a nurse, you go to work, come back, you've seen patients, you're tired, you just want to rest. And then you're
Tell me
coming back
about it.
to mom, and then these kids are getting on your nerves. You
Mm.
may, out of anger, beat somebody. Of course, you won't
Absolutely.
want to beat up on this person. But the other ways you may want to express your anger
Your
that
anger.
you now regret it later. Why did I
Sure.
do that? So,
Sure.
what would you advise us to do to
Mm.
prevent these regrets? Because if we continue on that path, we may raise children with childhood traumas that will now be running away from us as adults. We don't
Yeah.
want that. So, what would you
Mm.
advise?
Yeah, so yeah, thank you so much. And I love your recap about what I shared earlier. And one thing we don't yeah, like you said, this stress that is poorly managed become full blown conditions. Like you talked about the anxiety and depression, those are like mental conditions. Even full-blown physical, health conditions that people now start taking medications for heart conditions, you know, and all those things, ulcers and all those digestive issues, that the root cause was actually stress that wasn't managed, because our health is really interconnected. So you think, okay, this is just stress, is just maybe emotional, or it's just, guess what? It can become physical. It can become a physical health condition. It can become a mental health condition that will now affect your social relationships. So your physical, your mental, your social, like they're all interconnected. And so when you think, it's just stress, it's just stress, guess what? It can become a full-blown thing that will incapacitate you for a very long time, because you now have to start dealing with that disease condition. And so yeah, I just thought to mention, I remember. Okay, yeah. So let me share that a bit later. So answering the question for moms now, like how do you regulate your emotions? I'll still go back to, first thing I would say is that managing stress, and I like that the word out there is managing stress, not eliminating stress, because you cannot eliminate stress completely. Like you said, even the Bible says it, even Jesus said it. In this life, you will face what? You will face trials and tribulations. Well, guess what? You have overcome. You have victory, right? So the stressors will come at you every day, especially as a mom. You probably have your husband to, face. You have your children. You have your work. You have side hustle, which almost everybody has now. You have church engagements, maybe social engagements, you have clubs you belong to, you have a lot of things going on in your life. And so there will be demands from here and there that would eventually maybe become some kind of stressor on you. And so one thing you have to do is that you need to be able to cultivate a habit of what I call closing your stress cycles. So you know that normally you stressors will just come. Somebody will piss you off at work. The workload might be too much. Your boss can even annoy you. You not get home to your children to be doing their own. Maybe the house you just tidied now, they've messed it all up and all that. Cultivate a habit of closing your stress cycles. So whether you know it or you don't know it, whether you are aware of it, that well, I just faced a stressor now, or I didn't, whether you're aware of it or not, just make it a part of your daily to-dos to close stress cycles, which we call self-care these days. Just engage in some form of activities that help you just distress, just help you relax. Make it a daily habit several times a day. And there are lots of things that we can do to, distress, that is not necessarily spa. It's not mommy vacation. It's not anything that will cost you anything. Just having a power nap is something. Just hugging the child self that is trying to stress you out is something, cuddling with your spouse, calling a loved one, all those things. But you have to do them with the mindset of trying to distress, not, don't call and then you now start recounting all these stressful situations, and then you now even end up getting more stressed just by making a phone call. Make that
Sorry,
phone call
let
to
me cut
say,
you short. Let me cut you short because you cut me
yeah,
right there. Before
yeah,
this session, I just had a power nap.
yeah, good, you know, good. So those things should just be like a normal part of your day. Don't do it only when you think you'll be stressed or after you have been stressed. Just make it a normal habit that when I get back from work, I will try and just take 5 minutes, 10 minutes for myself, so that you can purge that work stress kind of, and be renewed. That power nap, even sometimes it happens where 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes sleep. The fact that you just close your eyes and open it is like a reset for your brain, and you just wake up and it's just like a brand new person. Or just finding things to make you laugh and getting creative. There are lots of things that you can do that would not cost you a dime, that are like just helping you distress. So cultivate a habit of just distressing throughout the day when you're doing your to-do lists. That's part of the things I did then. That I did then, that now they're not, now they've metamorphosed, like they're now a part of me. Sometimes of course I have to get more intentional to say, okay, I think I'm not doing this enough. But then on my to-do list is part of it. I must sleep at this time. I must just isolate myself, because I am that kind of person that I refuel in isolation. So I just stay on my own, like, hey, children, please just give me some, let me just be on my own for a few minutes. It could be that for you. Just figure out what works for you, that helps you just um refuel, that helps you just be refreshed, and make it a daily habit several times a day. It could just be like I tell people, I'm sure you'd have also mentioned it in your in with the professionals and all that. Take your break. The people that put break in workplaces, they know why they said so. Take your break. People don't take their breaks. They take their, even me, I'm guilty of this. I take my break at my desk. Go out, that change of environment helps you close some stress cycles that have been opened, helps you distress in a certain way. So just make sure those little things, 2 minutes, the breathing exercises, 2 minutes, 3 minutes here and there throughout the day, just helps you manage stress quickly, just helps you distress quickly, because you cannot eliminate them. Guess what? As you're coming out of distressing, another stressor will be facing you. But because it's now a habit, it's now several times a day, it's now a culture for you, it helps you manage those things better. It doesn't mean those things will completely be eliminated. It doesn't mean that life will not be perfect for you, but it just gives you a cushion that when those things hit you, the pressure will not be like there's no cushion at all, right? The intensity would not be as intense, like there was no cushion at all. So those things just help you, you know cushion yourself against the buzzballs, like I said earlier, just cushion you against the things that hit you from here and there. So that's one thing. Make distressing a routine for you. Make it a habit. Just make it normal. Make it a normal part of you. Don't wait until I have vacation. My personal vacation is coming up in the next 3 weeks. So you stress yourself and burn out before the vacation comes. No, just make it a daily part of you. It doesn't have to cost you a dime, right? A lot of things that you can do for free. That's one thing I'll say for moms. The second thing, like I said earlier, would be just get intentional with getting healthier.
Mm.
Eating the right things helps you a lot. Build, you get more energy from eating right, eating whole foods, like they say, lots of fiber, drinking water as much as you can. All those healthy habits are not just cliche. They're not just things out there for you to do. Now, it looks nice. So I see the way she drinks, 2 liters every day. She does. It's not just fancy. Those things eventually help you manage your stress levels. Those things help you, to be better positioned to manage your stress throughout life. Exercising, is even another way of distressing. Moving your body, dancing. Exercising does not necessarily mean go to the gym. It could be dancing. That's a way of managing stress. There's no way you dance, before you start laughing, you start smiling, you've distressed the beat, right? So first I said was make distressing a normal part of your life. Second thing is just get healthier holistically. Focus
Mm.
on every aspect of your health. Just get healthier. When you notice anything, just deal with it. The palpitations, don't just say it's just palpitations or anything. It's just this. It's just that. Deal with it. Get to the root cause. Address it. Seek help if you need to. Like I said earlier, in terms of finding what's important to you, like parents now, they say the knowledge that brought you to where you are now is not the same knowledge that will take you to where you want to be. It's not enough. It's not enough knowledge, because if you could change your life, you would have changed it. So you need to acquire more knowledge. And that's why you need to join communities like, is it the olive
Thriving
community?
knowledge. Thriving
Tribe,
knowledge.
the
Yeah.
tribe, yeah. So join communities where you get more knowledge, fresh knowledge, new knowledge. It might not even be new, that will just remind you of things that you've forgotten, that you're not effecting, that you're not implementing, right? You get accountability to say, are you doing these things that we've been talking about? Are you not doing these things? Those things help you to be able to manage your stress better, because like I said earlier, the knowledge you have now if it could change your life and help you, deal with all the situations in your life, then your life will be perfect by now. But you
Yeah.
need to step out there and get knowledge, gather knowledge, join communities. Because of course you can get a coach that will coach you personally, but there's something about accountability that helps. There's something about seeing people with like minds. Like all of us are here just to, thrive in this world. Wow. So we can actually do it. There's that motivation that comes with having a community. And so that's something I would say. And that's also part of you working on your social health, joining that thriving community that helps you, that gingers you, that motivates you, that encourages you, that you see people who are also going through similar struggles and you feel like, oh, I'm not even alone dealing with this. So we are plenty that are dealing with this, and there is actually a way out, right? Do you understand? So all those things actually help you manage your stress better, helps you not to lash out so fast. In fact, if you notice that, like I said, focusing on what's important per time, if you notice that in the area of parenting, I'm struggling, maybe it's time to join find a parenting coach. Maybe it's time
Right.
to,
Yeah.
let's know, there's that tendency to feel like I'm an adult, I know it all. No, no, if you stop learning, you start dying, they say, right? You stop learning, you start dying. You need to get, like Yorubas will say, you need to get knowledge to add to knowledge, right? That's how it becomes wisdom. You keep acquiring knowledge around there. You see that parenting, I'm struggling with yelling. I shout a lot. I need to work on it. If you can afford a coach yet, just gather knowledge, go read up. How can I help this? Knowledge cannot be underemphasized. You need to just step out there. And guess what? There are lots of communities that at no cost at all. They help you to get better. They help you to acquire this knowledge here and there. So just look for them. Don't think everybody's just forming community here and there. And these things are actually helping people get better with their lives. And so it's something that you need to just latch onto and get the best out of it. So yeah, I'll
Thank you.
stop there.
Thank you so much.
Mm.
This like started feeling like a masterclass.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Okay.
you so much for all the things you've shared.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were certain things you mentioned that I really picked up. I had a power nap before this session because I needed to sleep. So the power nap was really, really awesome for me.
Yeah.
So I feel so
Yeah.
refreshed. Thank you for highlighting that. You mentioned a lot of things, and at the core of it is making distressing a lifestyle, not just waiting for things to happen, but making it
Mm.
a lifestyle. Because even if you learn about stress management today, it's
Mm-hmm.
not to manage the stress of today. It's actually
Mm-hmm.
for it to become a part of your
For
life.
you.
All
Yeah.
those breaks, taking them, recognizing, being self-aware, recognizing when changes are going on, so that you address them quickly.
Yeah.
So it's more like a lifestyle, not waiting till you've harmed yourself
Crash.
and then
Yeah.
you now start looking for money to take yourself on a vacation or to
Mm-hmm.
go to the spa after you've
Yeah.
harmed yourself by
Mm-hmm.
poorly managing your stress. So
Yeah.
so you really hit the nail on the head. Manage your stress, make it a lifestyle. Thank you so much for that, and you really focused on us moms. Thank you.
Yeah. Your moms are my people, though.
Yeah,
Because
thank you
I'm
so
because
much for
I'm
making
one
it
to.
easier for us. Yeah, and
Mhm.
for those that don't know Ruth, just connect with her on Instagram. She shares a lot on Instagram. She's really, really helpful. She's really dedicated in this mission of helping moms. She's a wellness coach, and her focus is on moms. So she's doing a great job. You can contact her as well. And then this stress awareness campaign is part of the stress management summit that is coming up on 28th and 29th of April. And like she has talked to the moms, we are calling on parents and people that love children to come and learn about the children's mental well-being. Because come on, these are the future generations. So we need to be equipped with knowledge. You've heard Ruth talk about acquiring knowledge. If you're struggling with parenting, if you're struggling with taking care of your child, it feels like a struggle. It feels like this child is troublesome. It feels like this one, you don't just understand. You just don't get it, or you're getting it. We feel you're getting it well, but yet you need more knowledge, or you just want to raise a wholesome child that is devoid of childhood trauma as an adult. Children that will always be there to be able to express themselves to you, creating a safe space for your children. If you want any of these, I encourage you, be part of the stress management summit that is coming up in April this month. this way in April, 28th and 29th. The registration link is there on the screen. Okay. Thank you so much once again, Ruth. I
Thank
really
you.
hope that
Thank
a lot
you.
of people will watch this video. I really, really hope so. And I'm going to try my own best to share it because you just gave us a master class right now. Stress management for moms.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so
Yeah,
much
thank
for
you
your
so
time.
much. Thank you for having me. Thank
All
you.
right.
All
Thank
right.
you. Bye
Bye.
bye. So thank you once again. Thank you, and see you at the summit. And watch out for another episode of how to of sorry, I said how to of how stress impacts our lives. We are going to come up with more episodes with more experts, and you would always have something to go home with. Thank you, and thank you.